What's going on, bro? I hope all is well. So I'm going to teach you how to make an amazing comeback in your life, how to basically become reborn, just make crazy progress and completely change your life towards the direction that you want to live, right? So you're probably in sort of a low point right now and you don't know how to get out, but you really want to get out and you're sick and tired of just being average. Or you made a lot of progress, but now you're in a low point and you feel like you can't get out. So I was in both those situations. And in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know on how to make extreme progress in your life and a full protocol that you can follow day by day, week by week for 4 months. So you have actually something to implement at the end of this video. And I'm going to give you as much value as I possibly can, and this will definitely help you out. But you probably clicked on this video because you've been looking for like the perfect video or that video that will actually change your life. The thing is, you could basically do this infinitely and you'll never change your life. It's not about the video, it's up to you. So after this video, or even right now, I want you to click off of YouTube and just like read a book or do some push-ups, do something actionable. The first step to make any sort of long-term or extreme progress or just huge growth to basically become reborn is to change your identity. So right now, you have a certain idea of who you think you are, and who you think you are is like what you think you can do, what you think you're actually capable of, what you think you're worthy of, all of that. And that controls the actions we actually end up taking and what we do in the long term, right? So the reason why you feel like a loser right now and you keep on doing these losery habits is because deep down inside, you probably genuinely think you are a loser and you can't amount to anything. So obviously, the default state is going to be what your brain is subconsciously programmed to do, which is to be a loser. And that's been programmed from years and years of reinforcement. But the thing is, we can change this. And once we do change this, it becomes a lot easier to be productive and make progress in your life. So basically, your identity is not who you pretend to be, not who you present the world to be, not who you convince yourself to be, not who you say you are. It's who you genuinely think you are. First, you should just write down the 2.0 version of yourself. It doesn't have to be anything totally insane. Just kind of a spot of who you want to be and like where you want to be at in your life. And write down all the characteristics that this 2.0 version of yourself would have. Then, write down all the characteristics you have right now, positive and negative. And then pretty much just look at these two lists, right? And then look at all the characteristics that you carry right now that won't contribute to your future self. Now, those are the things you need to focus on basically deleting out of your life. So now we have all these characteristics that we know we need to take out of our life, and these are the main things that are holding us back. So what you can do now is basically just start obsessing over this new idea of who you are, right? Like this new sort of identity, and just start doing small actions throughout the day that align with this new identity to keep on solidifying this idea in your head. So if you want to be more disciplined and you want to be more like David Goggins or whatever, just start doing small actions just randomly throughout the day to solidify this new identity. Like just do like 20 push-ups, do a cold shower, do these small things, and basically just tell yourself like, of course I do this. This wasn't difficult. This is just like something I do. And you keep on doing this and you keep on reinforcing this new idea of who you have of yourself in your head. So here's an example of just like my life to make this make sense a little bit more. So I used to think I was a complete loser just in my brain and I couldn't get anything done and I would just never really amount to anything. And I genuinely thought that's who I was. And the reason why is because I kept on doing behaviors that basically enforced that idea of myself. So when I would actually try to do something productive, I wouldn't be able to really do it long term because in the back of my head, deep down inside, I just felt like I couldn't actually do it. And even though I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna for sure do it, back in my head, I was just like, you know, like you're a loser, you probably can't actually do this, you're just gonna fail. And that was the main thing that held me back from really doing these things long term, is because I thought it was really not physically possible to succeed in anything long term because that's who I genuinely thought I was. But the thing is, that's not real and you can change it. So you see this whole identity or self-destruction concept used in the military. The first thing they do with their new recruits is they break them down and try to kill off this old identity. Because the reason why is because a lot of new recruits, just like me and you, we have this certain like small ego about ourselves, certain beliefs about ourselves, and their goal is to break that all the way down so they can basically bring you to a spot where you're basically like a blank canvas so you can just adapt to the military lifestyle. That's the point of that. We're basically doing this for ourselves. Not quite as militaristic, but it's the same. So what I recommend is you give yourself like a 2 to 3 month sort of monk mode period. So this is basically where you're just restarting and you're just focusing on yourself for these 2 to 3 months. And this is not an excuse to be a recluse or to avoid people. It's just to restart and just give yourself some time to reinvent yourself. So what I recommend is you cut your hair very short. I did this and I look like shit, but it's very good. And it gives yourself like this new feeling of restarting. The second thing I would recommend is you just completely like thoroughly clean your room to an extreme amount. The second thing is just change your clothing and wear it very basic during this period of time. And the reason why you want to do all of this is just to trick your brain like you're doing a factory reset. So how come it takes so much like brain power and willpower just to resist eating junk food or playing video games, or just to go wake up early and go to the gym? But then you see these like other people where they do it like 30 times a day and they're just super productive, and it's like, how do they have the willpower to do that? Well, the thing is, they don't use willpower to get all these things done. A lot of the reasons why they're able to get so much done is because their brain is subconsciously programmed to do so. So just having a super disciplined day just feels like a normal day for them. And really just changing your identity helps with this. The second thing that helps a lot with this is changing your reasons why. So right now your reasons why are probably not as good as you think. So let's just have an example. So you want to wake up early in the morning. Well, why do you want to wake up early in the morning? So you can have more time in the day. Okay, so why do you want to have more time in the day? So you can get more things done. Okay, well, why do you want to get more things done? Oh, you don't know why? See, that's one of the biggest problems is we don't have strong enough reasons why. So right now, just figure out what you really want to improve. It could be your lifestyle, it could be your charisma, it could be how you make money. You just want to get out of a bad spot. And keep on asking yourself why until you find like an actual reason. Because sometimes your reason why might be because you want more girls, right? Or you feel like you want to prove people wrong. But try to find like a real reason why that is something you can actually stick to. The second thing you want to do is just imagine like what happens if you don't become disciplined or if you don't improve your life. And think about the pain that you'd go through by avoiding the discipline right now. And really just paint a picture in your mind of that situation. This really helped me because like I was thinking like, okay, what happens if I don't work on my YouTube channel? What happens if I don't work on my business? What happens if I'm not fit? What happens if I keep on watching porn, playing video games? And I imagined the life that I lived when I was like 30, with full of regret, just living a terrible life. And that really scared me. But the thing is, that's helpful because now it's no longer a thing of where it's like, oh, I kind of want to be disciplined or I kind of want to get things done. It's like, I have to get things done or else I'm going to end up in this situation. So really, just find a good reason why and also picture the life that you'd be living without. So I think we both know that bad habits really hold us back a lot in life. And how do we quit them? Well, there's really two ways. The first way is improving your mental health, and the second one is progressive deload. So really just think of this. So your bad habits aren't the problems. They're symptoms of the real problem, which is poor mental health. So think of it like cause and effect. When you have bad mental health, you tend to do bad habits even more. So right now there's probably something that's like not very good with your life. You're probably maybe slightly depressed, anxious, stressed. Maybe you're worrying about something. Maybe you have like these super negative beliefs about yourself. Maybe you have self-esteem issues. All these problems. And the symptoms from that are the needs and the desires to go do these bad habits to cover up that negative feeling that's sort of haunting you. So you need to figure out what that is and to fix it. And then from that, these bad habits will be a lot easier to quit. The main reason why we do bad habits is because we have poor mental health. The second tactic is progressive deload. So progressive deload is like basically just progressive overload in the gym, but for quitting your bad habits. So let's say I play video games every single day and it's like 30 times a month. So what I would do is I'd make a goal for week 1 to just play for 6 times a week instead of 7. And then the next week, if I complete that goal, I'd do 5, and then 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. And I basically just progressively deload the amount of times I play video games. It's almost impossible just to quit it all at once because we're not good enough yet. So what you need to do is you need to gradually reduce the amount you play. And you only reduce the amount once you complete like the first level. So if it's like junk food and I eat it like 60 times a month, right? Twice every day. What I do is I try to just eat it only like 13 times this week. And then the next week, if I complete that, I go for 10 and then 9. And I just progressively deload it. And so when you're doing this, I want you to focus on only like 1 or 2 bad habits you want to quit. And during that, you also want to try to maximize improving your mental health at the same time. The next thing to really improve your life is to become extremely physically fit. So if you're kind of fat right now, skinny fat or skinny, simply just building a body that you're proud of that looks cool will just change your life in all areas, not just the gym. You'll get more respect from other people, like other men will respect you who are higher above you. You'll get more respect from women. It's just better, right? So you don't have any excuse to not build an athletic body. I have a bunch of videos on how you can do it at home. It's really not that like complicated, it's just kind of difficult. So what I recommend is you give yourself at least 30 minutes of exercise every single day. I do more like an hour and a half of just a lot of hikes and a lot of bodyweight exercises, and from this I feel great. I'm able to focus on videos better, my health is better, my mind is better, and I also just feel better and I just look better. So there's no reason you shouldn't do it. So the easiest and most simplest way to improve your health is to do this. 30 minutes to an hour of exercise every day, intense exercise. Get a lot of vitamin D, so just walk around shirtless, like just go lay in the sun and get vitamin D tablets. Next thing you want to do is just eat whole foods. So stop eating processed bullshit with a bunch of ingredients on the back. Just eat a lot of like pure foods that don't have any sort of ingredients, like just ground beef, apples, eggs, salmon, that kind of thing, right? And then the next thing you want to do is just avoid a bunch of social media and porn. That's just terrible for your brain, and it just reduces your energy throughout the day. And the next thing you want to do is just increase your testosterone. And pretty much just doing all the things I said above will increase your testosterone. But pretty much you need to learn a skill. Whether you don't want to post on social media or not, you still need to get good at something, whether it's like sales, video editing, marketing, you know, mental health, whatever it is, you need to get good at something, bro. And just go full force into it. And the thing is, a lot of people make the huge mistake of trying to get good at everything at once, and all their focus just gets split up into a bunch of directions. I made that mistake and I wasted like 6 months of my life. So coming from like an expert time waster, just try to just focus on one thing and just laser into it and focus on it extremely hard. Draw 4 circles and make it look like this, and then the first thing you should say what you love, what the world needs, what you think you can be paid for, and what you're good at. And then in these 4 smaller like ovals, just write passion, mission, vocation, and profession, and put that all in like the same order. So the goal of this diagram is basically just to help you figure out what you actually want to do and find something you can get paid for and make a business off of that you'll also find fulfilling and purposeful. So like, here's an example. I actually really enjoy helping people out and seeing them progress. So that's one thing, right? What does the world need? Well, there's certain people similar to me that are struggling that I might be able to help out. So got the other thing ticked off. And then what do you think I could be paid for? Helping people out one-on-one. So I'm already getting paid for that. And then the last thing is, what are you good at? So I'm not really good at shit, but I'm a decent speaker. So I'll put that in there. And the goal is just to fill this out, and it'll help you get thinking of how you can find a sort of business model that you also enjoy. And then the goal with this is just to find something that kind of ticks off all the boxes that stands in the middle. So the goal is just to like write down everything in each of these sections and then find something that like has all of the qualities from all of these. Okay, so now let's follow this protocol to basically just make extreme progress. So the first thing you need to do is just give yourself 3 things you do every single day in the morning and 3 things you do every single day in the night. So an example would be like, for me in the morning, I instantly just do a cold shower when I hop out of bed. I do 100 push-ups, and then I work on YouTube for a couple of hours. And then in the night, I just meditate, journal, and then plan my day out. So that's basically just 3 things in the morning and 3 things in the night. And once you get really good at those things and you do them every single day for 1 week, then you just add 2 things to the morning section and the night section, and so on, until it basically becomes a full day's routine. And this is helpful because, you know, it's really hard just to like immediately stick to a super disciplined routine. So by doing this, we're basically just doing progressive overload, but for a routine. Okay, so literally get like a piece of paper out and write down 3 things you would do in the morning and 3 things you do in the night. And make sure they're things that you think could actually make a big change in your life, not just some like pointless little thing that doesn't like actually have a lot of leverage in your life. So I would recommend that you have 1 mental health related thing in this routine, whether it's in the morning or the night, 1 exercise related thing, 1 productivity thing, and then 1 like business or school related thing. And then once you complete the first level of having 3 things in the morning, 3 things in the night, then the next week you're gonna do 5 things in the morning and 5 things in the night. And make sure they're all like as high leverage or productive tasks you can do, and not just something useless where you're pretending like you're actually doing work. So right now, if you're in a rut, you probably have a bunch of bad habits, and it's kind of hard to decide which ones to quit. So what I recommend is you just choose 1, maybe even 2 bad habits you want to focus on, and you do progressive deload. So let's say it's just eating junk food every day. So for the first week, you just try to eat 7 pieces of junk food every day, and then the next you do like 6, and then once you complete that, you do 5, and then you do 4. And you just keep on progressively deloading it, because it's really hard to quit it all at once, because that's like benching 400 pounds your first time in the gym. So you just want to basically like reach these mini goals and then keep on leveling up, so it kind of creeps up on you. The progress feels easier. And basically just focus on 2 things you want to quit, probably even just 1, and then after you get around like 3/4 of the way done where you're almost not doing that bad habit anymore, then you can focus on a new one to add, and you just keep doing this. So I recommend that you give yourself 1 daily challenge, because when we're doing all this self-improvement stuff, it can become very boring, and that makes it hard to stick to the schedule. So what makes it more fun is just giving yourself like a daily challenge. So that could be like just texting that girl you wanted to talk to, or approaching a random girl that you think is pretty, or just even making a friend with like some random guy at the gym, or asking your friends to go have a spar after school and just like punch each other in the face. Like whatever it is, just some like small challenge. It's kind of risky, sort of scary, but you're just gonna do it anyways. And when you do these every single day of the week, or at least like most of the week, you're gonna like develop a lot of character, and you're gonna make a lot of cool new opportunities happen. So I recommend that you just start doing things that are slightly socially scary, or you're sort of like you have a limiting belief about it and you don't want to do it, but you just do it anyways, and you do this repetitively and you build into a habit. So it doesn't have to be the craziest thing. Just try to do like one sort of slightly different or risky thing every single day. The next thing to do is to do an eat the frog task. So you're not actually going to eat a frog. It's basically just a metaphor for doing the most difficult and important thing first thing in the day. So what I do is I just do a small morning routine, and then I do the most important thing, which is writing out and recording a video. This could also just be like working on my business or creating some like funnel system for my marketing business, but pretty much it's just the most like mentally draining and important task that you need the most brain energy for. And the best time of day to do this is first thing in the morning, because usually throughout the day you're just going to keep on thinking about that hard thing you have to do, and then once it's time for it, you're just going to feel drained. So it's super important that you just choose the most difficult thing. This could be studying for your math test, this could be going on a run if you're like overweight, or whatever it is. You just do the most difficult thing first thing in the day, the thing that you always worry about doing. You just make it a habit by doing it first thing in the morning. Okay, so here's how I like to structure my day, and I think you should definitely try it out if you think it might help you. So the first thing you do is you just give yourself a simple, quick morning routine. The goal isn't to overcomplicate it and waste a bunch of energy on it. The goal is just to have something that'll give you a good first impression of the day. So I just like to wake my body up, do a cold shower, do some push-ups, and maybe a little bit of journaling. Then right after that, I do my deep work task, and I do that for around 3 to 4 hours straight, no other distractions, no phones. And then after that, I basically just work out, get my body moving. I usually go on a long hike and then hit some bodyweight workouts. And then after that, I do my sort of daily challenge / side quest. Usually it's around the trail area when I'm going home. And then after that, I focus on sort of like mental health stuff and just, you know, meditation, how I can just always improve it. And then after that, I focus on education. So I learn about sales, I do some reading, I watch some videos, I take notes and sort of like test myself. And then after that, obviously there's a few other things I do throughout the day, but after that I usually do smaller work tasks. So kind of like the, you know, less important things, kind of just like laundry, you know, replying to emails, replying to comments, replying to like leads and stuff, just sort of like smaller things like that, you know, solving payment issues. And then after that, at the end of the day, I just prepare for sleep to have like a good sleep. And that's pretty much how my whole day is structured every single day. Okay, so congratulations if you made it this far. I'm gonna have a full list of actionable steps you can take in the right order down in the link in the description. And I'm also gonna have a full sort of daily routine or protocol that you can follow to improve your life. So I'll definitely go do it. You don't need to put your email or phone number in. It's just completely free because I wanna help. And that's pretty much it, bro. Hope you have a good one. Bye.